The following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Listener or viewer discretion is advised. This podcast episode is for educational purposes. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast does not reflect the views of our employers. Where applicable, any allegations are alleged until proven in a court of law.
Thank you so much for watching this upcoming episode. Please don't forget to like, follow, and share. Okay. Hey, Ousters. Welcome back for another episode with your favorite Oust Now Pod crew. We know how challenging it can be to overcome challenges, obstacles, whatever you want to call it, problems. There's a million different words you can use to say the same thing, but life be lifing. And sometimes when it's lifing a little too much, it's hard to kind of bounce back and or overcome it. And it can be hard to kind of come back especially if it's a bunch of things at once. And sometimes, as much as we try to like remain fluid and just kind of go with the flow of, okay, well, you can go with what you can control, and what you can't control, you just kind of let it go. It's easy to say that, and it's not always easy to accomplish on all things. Are there any obstacles that you've encountered recently that you feel comfortable sharing? I'm thinking as I throw that out there. I'm like, what would I feel comfortable sharing?
Honestly, no, because I haven't overcame my obstacles.
Okay. Well,
I'm
maybe.
dealing
Sorry.
with it.
Okay. Do you think maybe that's part of it? Like just trying to just not go through the motions, but even when there's an obstacle, you just kind of have to tackle it as it comes. And when you are on the other side of it, when you're on the other side of it. Here's one that I can comfortably share. Like when I was, I went to therapy for a long time, and when I had lost my therapist and I had to find someone new, my new therapist was like, well, why are you here? And I was like, because I'm in therapy and my therapist dropped me. There's more to that story. She didn't drop me. It's because of scheduling and shit.
Okay.
I wasn't a bad patient. She was like getting close to retirement, and she was kind of scaling down her schedule. So I was like, if you're not on the schedule, you're just not on the schedule. And then he kept on the first thing he asked me was like, well, why are you here? And I was like, well, because I was doing this and now I need to find someone new. I need to continue my therapy so I can get my mental health right. And then it finally came to me after about, I don't know, 3 to 4 months. He was trying to tell me like, dude, you're good. You just didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And it took a little bit for it to fucking click. Like, oh, okay, I get it. And partly it's, even challenges are going to come no matter. They're just always going to happen. Like it would be nice to have a life that it would just, things don't happen. Like, what was it? The dishwasher broke, fucking pipe broke all in one day. Not all in one day, but like things happen. And then how do we like overcome it? Now, some are a little bit more challenging than just, something like a machine fucking breaking, that's, but we did find a wonderful article to help us kind of find you guys some tips for overcoming some challenges. And that's what we're going to do today. Are you ready?
I mean, I am. Okay, so the article that my awesome co-host found for us is called Overcoming Obstacles by Connie Albers. Um, yeah, and it actually came up ConnieAlbers.com.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So
Okay.
credit to her. Yes.
Yeah.
Connie Albers. Yeah.
So thank you, Connie, because life be lifing. So, does overcoming obstacles seem nearly impossible?
Some
Okay.
days. Yeah.
And that is the very first question that she says in the article. She says, does overcoming obstacles seem nearly impossible? They sure have for me. Well, Connie, I'm with you. But I've learned practical ways to overcome obstacles and find a path to getting unstuck that might help you and your children.
Mm. Did I miss that
Oh,
part?
I like it.
Oh crap! I did miss that part. Okay. Okay.
We all encounter obstacles, but not everyone has the tools to turn these challenges into stepping stones. With faith, a positive outlook, and a few actionable steps, you can learn how to overcome obstacles that can keep you stuck. Whether you're struggling with work or personal life, or your child is struggling, there's ways to gain forward movement. While obstacles are common, learning to overcome them can change your future. Challenges don't have to defeat us or keep us stuck. That's why constant time with the Lord and community of friends can change that. We all encounter obstacles, but not everyone has the tools to turn these challenges into stepping stones. That's why I'm excited to share this episode with you and your family. I want you to learn not only how to get unstuck, but always how to run your race with excellence.
Now, before we get into her recommendations, the inspiration of this particular episode was actually inspired by a motivational coach who I follow on the talk. Yes, yes, I follow him on the talk, y'all. And we had hoped to kind of get him on as a guest because he's a motivational speaker, but he had a significant health setback that made me say, I would love to know, with him being a motivational speaker, like it is and continues to be a huge obstacle in his life. And we were really hoping to kind of get him on, but we can't right now. So hopefully for the future we can. Because even with this setback, he owned it. He said, okay, I know this is going to be a road to my next steps, but that's not going to stop me. And in him claiming that, and no matter what that road looks like for him, and him claiming that, I said, I would love for him to one, be a guest, but to talk about that for him. But then, I can't imagine that there are many people, because life be life. And so we were really hoping to get him on for this, but he really is the inspiration for this episode, even though he could not join us for it. But I hope that maybe sometime in the future he can be um, on one of our episodes to help, do his thing, motivate people. A phenomenal motivational speaker. Okay. And I foresee it will happen, just not right now. I speak it into existence.
Sometimes you
um,
have to.
you know, and for a little bit of history with him, like, even though we have we connected on TikTok, he was always constantly leaving like, hey, what goals are you trying to accomplish this week? Always sending messages or posting stuff about it. And I was always interacting with him. So he was just someone that I admire in his energy, first and foremost, because he was really energized. Um, And yeah, so I wish him well in his health journey, and we look forward to having him in the future as a guest. But he is the inspiration, Shaundi Goings. If you're listening to this, thank you, because you are a part of this process. um, and Miss Albers here, she says the very first thing that when it comes to overcoming obstacles is to identify and assess. So she says that one of the things she does is she starts with gathering like information about the circumstances or that thing, how it made feelings with that thing, the behaviors that came with it, and what patterns she felt like was keeping her stuck. And she says this is something that we can all do. Everyone is different, and while we as individuals might feel we have a connection within our faith, not everyone feels that, and that's okay, because everyone's on a different journey, and no judgment. But she starts with you know asking, praying and asking for insight, looking to her trusted friends and her circle. Oh, now I don't know if I'd be okay. She's like, she asked trusted friends and family what they have observed. I don't know. That's a tough one to ask. write down write down why you feel the way you feel. That I get. Carefully examine where your thoughts and beliefs are coming from that you're believing about yourself. Okay, fair enough. And the benefit, she says, of doing that is, I think the biggest thing is the part going through these steps is really going to help you identify, and assess what it is that what the problem is, or what the obstacle or the real obstacle is. Because sometimes, I don't know if you have ever found this, like, do you ever get like, I have done this. I have done this, and in the moment not realize it, but then afterwards I was like, oh, okay, this is what you was really mad at. You wasn't mad about this, but you was really mad about that.
People messing with my things.
Mm,
Um,
okay.
I know that that's a me issue. I mean, some of it is a me issue. People shouldn't be touching your things, but I know that my reaction is a me issue.
Fair. Yeah, girl, I've been there. Oh, yes, I do understand that. It's not that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's not. Yeah, I don't like people touching my shit either. Okay, I'll give you an example. Like when a hole appeared in our wall that we had just, I was angry. At the time that it happened, there's a lot of things that happened to kind of it. Just a lot of things in our household broke in a very short period of time that I was like, I am pissed. And I was so angry, but I was more triggered, and what I didn't understand was, it was triggering for me because, when we were coming up, we didn't have a lot. I would say we didn't have shit. We did not have a lot. Like, and this was like in my mother's household, like my school budget called for like 2 new pairs of pants and a couple of shirts, and shoes weren't in that budget. Like we didn't have a lot. So it was triggering for me because I'm like, dude, I had a fraction of the things that you have, and you're taking it for granted. So like I was mad about these things, but I think I was more triggered about the fact that, your father and I, regardless of what that looked like, but we have both sacrificed a lot for you to have this, and for you to not appreciate it was kind of like, I was triggered. But it came from my trigger from not being poor. Let me just say that. Yeah, but I think that's kind of what helps. Like, we don't always recognize it in the moment. Girl, I just knew I was pissed. We had to fucking fix something else in this house, and we just fixed. But it was more about like, yo, we grew up poor, and like, we're not rich. We got a roof over our head, and we are so grateful for it. But yeah, so that's an example of like if you assess things, is it going to help you look at it on a face value, or kind of see what's that underlying reason as to why you're like triggered in that moment? And let me
Right.
just say, it was hard to say, hey, we grew up poor. That shit was like,
Facts.
damn.
Um, it's reality. Understanding triggers and patterns, which we just kind of tapped on
Sorry.
by accident.
Unintentionally.
Uh, I started it because I was like, I know why I react to. I kind of piggybacked off of it.
Okay.
Um, but okay, learning to get beyond your struggles that might be holding you back requires identifying triggers and noticing patterns of thoughts and behaviors. What specific situation causes you to feel stuck? What is your emotional reaction? Do you have recurring thoughts and behaviors that cause you to pause? By spending time on reflecting and listening, we can identify triggers and patterns of thought and behaviors. The word we think and believe about ourselves are powerful, which is why we must not focus on addressing them.
So by spending time. I'm sorry. I need to. Huh. I don't understand that. The words we think and believe about ourselves are powerful. That I understand, which is why we must not focus on addressing them. But isn't that a part of, I don't know. That kind of confuses me a little bit.
I think I don't know, maybe she's referring to
Hmm.
when she says focusing on them, and what I was confused at first either, but I imagine what she's saying is I'll just throw this out there, but let's just say for example, I feel my teeth are crooked. So I'm so focused on the fact that my teeth are crooked, I feel like that's what everybody sees because I'm so fixated and focused on that.
Okay. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
I'm imagining that's what she means by that. Like, if you're not gonna get them fixed, then you continually focusing on this is taking away from, what you think everybody else is thinking as well, because you're so focused on what you think is wrong. I imagine
Oh, okay. Okay.
that is what she's saying.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I was like, I don't understand this. Kind of like, it
I
was
get
like
it.
an oxymoron type stuff. But I was like, but if, okay.
Right.
Hmm. You
I
know,
I I think that's what
hmm.
she means.
Okay, I gotcha. The next thing she suggests is to understand triggers and patterns. Um, and these are the three questions you should kind of ask as you're kind of going through it. What specific situation causes you to feel stuck? What is your emotional reaction? And do you have recurring thoughts and behaviors that cause you to pause? I don't know. I think I'm a little bit like, what is your okay? Like the emotional reaction, I get. Definitely, I've been there. Have I felt stuck? Absolutely. But as far as like recurring thoughts and behaviors that cause you to pause, I'm not sure what that means. Like pause what?
Pause
Pause
moving
like in the
forward, pause moving on, pause. I
mm,
understand what she's saying. Maybe
or to
because
be. I got you.
um that stuck. I think
Okay.
since she talks a lot about feeling stuck, so maybe that's what she means when she says cause you to pause.
Okay. Um.
I can see that.
Yeah, I can. I've okay. I can see that.
I think a lot of things sometimes I'd be like, okay, I gotta sit on this. I remember being in a situation where I was taken back by something
Okay.
because it was unexpected.
Mm. Okay.
And I just could not, um and maybe this is what she means, like, I just could not, um I don't wanna I don't know if I wanna say move past it, but maybe in that moment, I was like, I couldn't react. Um, I couldn't I couldn't, um I couldn't come up with a plan on what I was gonna do with it. I was just like, "What am I gonna do with this?" And that might be what she means, that stuck, that pause, like, "I don't know what to do with this.
But maybe I don't know, because
What am I gonna do with this?"
sometimes there's things that we can't. I don't know how to say that.
That we
Like
don't control.
yeah, like there's things that can happen that you are absolutely ain't shit you could do about it. So like, what do you?
I think that's part of the, reflecting and listening, right? Because
Mm,
when it is something that we have no control, we have no say so, and now we're like, "What do I do with this?"
yeah,
Um, that plays a part into it too. Like, "Wait, I have no control over this," and it's almost feeling like I have no say so. What do you mean I have no say so? Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean? I can't how do you navigate something that you don't navigate, that you're not in control of, I guess, maybe?
I think. s-
Or am I,
the-
like, way off because 'cause I'm having a
No, you're dead on, because what I have been taught is that when you grew up the way that we grew up, which was not exactly fun, and when we've been parentified to parent ourselves, we somehow become somewhere into this. You kind of become a bit of a control freak. Excuse me, y'all. I'm not saying control freak like we're freaks. It's just a term that is used. But let me put this a little bit better. Like we try to control and we try to control all these things so we can control the outcome so we're not hurt in the long run, right? Um but there's things in life that's completely uncontrollable that you literally just cannot, like, you just kind of, I hate to say ride the wave, but you literally have to ride the wave, and it's easier said than done. Um it's easier said than done. But I think that certain things can make us feel like we've got to control everything, when it's really hard to, because that's um, can be impossible in some situations.
I agree.
Um,
What I wish I could be in control of right now is this air conditioner. I mean
Girl. Like I said, I want you on Arctic cold, not semi cold. I want you freezing like we in fucking Alaska. Okay? Cold.
Damn it. Uh,
I feel this.
and then I wish I could control that bill, um,
Mhm.
comfortably control
Mhm.
that bill. Um I'm sorry. I was just having a hot moment and I was like,
Hey,
this is
girl, I'm
some
sweating.
bullshit. Like, I'm about to have a moment of pause right now.
I feel you.
I'm about to have a stuck moment right now while we're talking about this.
Are you about to start melting into a puddle in front of my very eyes? That's not going to be fun. Let me just tell you. Don't do that.
Girl. And then it causes you to change your like attitude. Like
Uh,
you're not saying you're like, I was in a good mood, damn it.
but suddenly I'm not.
But started
Because
off
I'm
looking
hot.
angry as hell. Like I'm mad as hell. Don't you
Like
talking to
in the
me?
alley talking about crabs. It's
Crap.
fucking hot.
Yeah.
Okay. So overcoming obstacles through reflective listening. So it seems like we gotta do a lot of listening, but listening to who? Ourselves? Because that self-talk can be real dangerous sometimes. And sometimes our self-talk can lead us down to not being helpful, you know? But she says the purpose of reflective listening is to help one understand any deeply held beliefs, okay, about oneself or the world.
Oh my
You know what she says? She says like our underlying beliefs can cause internal frustration and emotional paralysis. I believe that. Um, and one step in getting unstuck is to identify where our thoughts, beliefs, and patterns are coming from. I do remember my therapist talking to me about stuff like that. Like, where's your thought process coming from? Is it because how what you were taught growing up? Like, where is that coming from? Is it a like a self-imposed type thing? Because sometimes I know, oh girl, I know I've done that. I've done that also. um but that's something that, even, if you're looking taking this approach from approach of a non-religious approach, even though this is the approach she's taking, like I think the core of this is on a basic level. It just makes sense.
Let's see. Accepting and skills development to overcome obstacles. Okay. Learning to accept where you are is a pathway to knowing what skills you need to develop to move forward. To do well, we need to learn practical problem solving skills to deal with specific situations that might be causing us to get stuck. Here are a few. Telling yourself the truth about a situation, being honest with yourself, is essential to learning. Remind yourself that no one can make you feel or stay stuck. Others may say or do things that knock you down. They don't have the power to keep you there. Pray. Ask the Lord to help you develop problem solving skills. Trying to get around obstacles on your own makes any situation more difficult.
Mm.
God has a plan for your obstacles. You need to know the plan. Um, Again, I just want to throw it out there. Not everyone has that same belief. Um, this is just her way um of overcoming obstacles. She says every new skill requires practice. I encourage you to write down the behaviors you need to improve, the thoughts you want to change, and the patterns you want to challenge. Remember this, when God instructs us to lay something down, we are told what to pick up. It's easier to replace old habits with new ones. That takes practice. Okay. Uh, okay.
I believe that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a lot of practice. It's not like you wake up one day and be like, bloop. It's a process.
Yeah.
It's a process.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll say one thing that I have, like, it took me a while to kind of get to this point. Like if I get like upset about something, like before I really wouldn't know what the hell I was really mad about. I just knew I was mad. And then I would just get mad and it'd be like, this is bullshit. Rah, like my version of that. Everyone's
Mhm.
version may look different. My version of it, right? Um, but then over time, like if I've gotten mad over something, I'd be like, let me take a minute, and I will kind of step back and be like, well, why are you mad? And I have fallen into the pattern where I'd be just mad over something. Like I have was it backs I backslide sometimes. I do backslide sometimes because that's normal. But now, more often than not, I'll be like, okay, why are you like? I'll sit and be like, okay, but why are you really mad? I'll try to have that conversation in my head before I'm like, okay, before I know how to address it. Because, there are times when I'm be like, oh, this is fucking bullshit. I'm really mad. Like, even when we came back from Austin, like the day that we came back, like I was like, I was not a very, I don't know, I was mad about something in particular. And then I was like, and like I was snapping, and like Q got mad at me, and then I'm mad at him, and then I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. And then I was like, all right, just take a step back now. Why are you really mad? And I was like, okay, this is why I'm mad. And then, but it took me a second to even fucking really identify why the fuck I was mad. But I just knew I was mad, and I got mad. And then we're snapping and like kind of thing. But I look at that like as a backslide a little bit, but not fully, because it took me a second to be like, well, why the fuck you really mad? Well, now this is why I'm really mad. It had nothing to do with this. It's because I felt this, and let me tell you about it, kind of deal. It took me a second. I was like, now that I know what this is, let me tell you something.
Right.
But like it was so instant that all I knew was I was angry. I was like, I'm fucking angry about something. I don't know what I'm angry about, but I know I'm fucking angry.
You know what it kind of reminded me of when you said that? You ever seen that little meme where the girl he was like, well, what do you want? She's like, I don't know, but I want something.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Like,
Okay.
he was like, well, what do you want? Oh, what would I want?
But sometimes
Almost
it's
like that.
hard, yo. You'd be like, rah. Why am I
Yeah.
mad again?
I don't even know what I was mad about. I don't
I
even
just
know
know
if
I was
that's
mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but I will tell you, there was a deeper thing to what that was, because, and I won't go into it because I'm like, no, I just won't. I can't. I don't feel comfortable. Um, it was deeper than that thing. And even though I was like, okay, well, now that I know, let me tell you about yourself. it was more to it was more to it. And it was a trigger of mine that it was really stemming from. Um, but it does take practice, because you can feel like I am okay, and then within one instant, it's like, rah, we all have those moments.
I definitely think that kind of goes back to when she was talking about the reflecting and
Yeah.
listening, because you had to reflect and kind of listen and kind of like tune in to yourself and narrow down what you were really angry about. And
Mm.
so it definitely does play into what she's saying in this article.
And I think sometimes maybe we're a little bit too hard on ourselves. Like, we ain't got to have all the answers, and sometimes we just have to take it like day by day, moment by moment, situation by situation, because it's not like this is an overnight process. It's like you have to go through the steps to get to the other side. It's not like it's like you're done. It's like you go through these things, and when you get to the other side of it, you'll know, but you won't know until you get there.
Right.
That's the tricky shit about this in general. So the next thing she suggests is to evaluate and readjust. Yes, throughout life, you will face obstacles, many throughout life, and we have to make it a habit to evaluate and readjust as needed. Um, Easier said than done. Let me just throw that out there, Miss Albers. We understand, and it sounds like you understand that also. We have to consider what's working, what's not, change what's not working, and then if it's not working, it's okay to pivot. Um, your approach to overcoming those things can change as you grow, your children grow. I don't really think this is focused on children. I just want to say I think this is more for the adult in the room. Um, I think what she's saying about the children part is like as the adult like kind of evolves, like that extends out to the kids. But this is really for the adults in the room. But I can see, like, if you look at it from a holistic level, like this one thing can change on a broader sense. So I get what she's saying, but and of course she kind of ends the article with a prayer, just saying like to help for individuals to gain insight in the processes that we need to be more effective at overcoming obstacles. Her name again is Connie Albers, and she has an Instagram, she got a Facebook, and she has a book, Parenting Beyond the Rules. And she even has a podcast, learn more about the Equipped to Be podcast. Um, so these, I think that she has some really great suggestions for overcoming. I really hoped our, Mr. Goins would have been able to join us, but it is what it is because he is a true inspiration behind it.
Do you feel like the article um was really helpful? Do you feel like in everyday real life be lifing, that this article can be a help in dealing with it?
I think so because she has some practical things. She's suggesting practical things to kind of do. Let's not forget, like health, like even if you decided, well, this isn't the route for you. Like if you were like doing therapy, something like that, that's just fucking expensive. Let's be honest, because it's a whole fucking medical bill. So like, if you were looking for, this is essentially like a good self help practical guide on what you can do for. I do think like there was one thing there. I was like, I wouldn't ask my family, like not for nothing, or your friends. And here's why.
Listening.
Here's why.
Mm.
Not because the reason for that is this. There are times, we each come with our individual experiences and thought process. And what like those individual experiences is how we go into decision making and how we think. And how we think about other people too. So I'd be like, there's certain people I would never ask because I'm like, I don't know if you give me not honest, but if there wouldn't be like some shade thrown in there because there's very few people that I would ask that honest question. I'll be honest with you. Because I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to just leave it there.
I'm trying.
Like, I'll give you this example, and I won't go too much into deep. At one point, I don't ask for advice. And for the most part, I don't ask people what you think about a situation. For the most part, sometimes I do. Most of the time, I don't. But there's a reason. Because in the past, when I was struggling with something very deeply, deeply personal and borderline like dangerous to my own like mental health, I asked somebody. And I wasn't even asking for advice. I was talking to them about the situation. And the advice that I received was based on their own limited knowledge, and what and how they chose to live. But that's not how I chose to live or choose to live. Like the priorities were different, rightly so.
Mhm.
And I was encouraged to do something that was completely against what I had been thinking. I was like, I need to get out of this fucking shit quick. And I was given, I think, bad advice. And I don't judge the person for it, because like I do understand where they were, what they were going through at the time, limited knowledge. Like I get all that stuff. But that's why I'm always hesitant to kind of ask, like, what do you think about the situation? Like you won't, like, for the most part, you won't know what it is, what the situation I'm having until I've already fucking handled it.
So I had a similar situation where I'll throw it out there because shit, anybody that's dealt with me for about 5 minutes probably already knows it. But I deal with anxiety, um, really, really bad. And one time when I first was diagnosed with the anxiety, when I was first like, honey, that was a whole anxiety attack. I thought I was dying. Um, but anyway, I was discussing it with somebody that I felt that I could, right? At the time, right? And I really was not even like you said, like it wasn't like I was asking for advice. I'm just like, girl, you won't believe this. I have those moments. Like, because I've called you like, girl, let me tell you about this.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about this shit. Um, and so, I remember, you know, talking to her and I was like, yo, I was like, you know what the hell they said it was? Anxiety, girl. What the hell is that? Yo, and it was like instant. Girl, don't be telling nobody that you deal with anxiety. Don't be telling nobody that you have an anxiety because that's mental health and they're gonna be, that's crazy. They're gonna be, thinking that you're crazy. And for a long time, part of my problem is that I had masked that shit for so long that it started coming out, and when it would come out, it was, like, really fucking bad. Like, I would really fucking lose it. And I think I still deal with that even now because I hid it for so long because everybody kept saying, "Oh, yeah, you have anxiety, you crazy." And so I hid it like I hide everything else, like how I had anxiety, like I hid a lot of things over the years. And, it usually comes out in other ways, or when it does come out, it's, like, explosive, and so
Mhm.
then everybody's looking like, "Oh, yeah,
What
she's
is
crazy."
this?
Right.
I don't understand what's happening right now, but something happening.
"Oh, this is deep." And it's not even that deep, but because I have a tendency to ignore shit, it gets, like, really
Mhm.
like, it be little shit too, and I like, flip the fuck
Oh.
out. Oh, flip out. And and that is a moment for pause.
Hell yeah. Let me before like listen, let me just say this. And I do think it's a there are some practical things you can use. This is very, very practical article and suggestions to use. But like there are so many people that suffer in silence when it comes to anxiety, but it is so fucking common. It is so common. And there's different levels of it. Everyone experiences it differently. Um, I know mine got worse when mom passed away. Oh my God, it was awful. It was awful. I almost passed out while driving home one day from work. but I had the sense of, I don't know. Yeah, I would like yeah. Like it can manifest very very differently for everybody, but it is so common. So, don't let anyone tell you that if you're experiencing, I don't want to say suffering, because let's I think if we change the language on it, not suffering, okay? We experience it. If you're experiencing anxiety, it's so common. A lot of people experience anxiety. You are not alone. But it is important to know that no, you're not crazy. That ain't it. But you're not alone in it, because one, you there's ways that you can learn how to manage, and when you feeling anxiety, like there's things that you can do or things that you can learn to help you work through those anxious moments. But telling somebody or saying, oh, they're going to think you're crazy, is a very limiting belief on what anxiety is. It's a
I,
limiting belief on what anxiety is.
I
Um,
definitely. I started. I don't know if that's what you had, like the whole panic attack. Did you have like a whole panic attack?
it wasn't even, it was like, I'm going to pass out while I'm driving. I feel faint and
Yeah.
dizzy.
Yep. Yep.
And
Yep.
it happened. And it started to happen more after, like, I got into the car accident and, mom had passed away. And then I had like a whole blowout meltdown looking at something on a fucking billboard that I was like, something's wrong with me. That was the moment where I was like, oh, that's it. Like, I've got to do something about this, because I'm not okay, and I have to get home to my kids. Like, this ain't healthy. But
Yeah.
also know that it's caused by something, and a lot of it is when we suppress how we feel. Um, and I can comfortably share now, I wouldn't have been able to do this back then. But after mom passed away, I didn't let myself grieve, because it was like, oh, mom passed, and then it was like, the girl's gonna be here for the summer. It was like, girl, you have to fucking suck this shit up, because you can't be falling apart when you got 3 kids that you've got a parent. And then, it took months for me to actually like realize, yo, you ain't dealing with this, and you're in danger, girl. If you are experiencing anxiety or anything, or any like feeling like you're stuck, like it's coming from somewhere. And yes, there's practical ways that you can handle it, but I think, like she says here, the first thing is you got to identify what's that. It starts with identifying that root cause, which takes time. You don't wake up one day and be like, bling. It takes time. But I think these are practical things you can use to help you get to the next steps.
I agree. I could understand, where she was headed and what she was saying, and I appreciate her taking the time to try to help people navigate through the best way she can. You know what I mean? Like, cuz not
Yeah.
everybody, like you said earlier, and like we want to kind of like let people know, just because this says pray, it's not like we're advocating for a religion or anything like that, right?
Mhm.
Um and we all have to find ways to cope, whether that is like you were referring to earlier with the therapy process, um which is the route that I kind of took. It's
Same.
like, sign me up, because I had a meltdown in public, literally, in in public. It's one thing to like lose it and you're in front of like family members. That's like, oh yeah.
Calm down. I'm feeling triggered. Calm down.
Right?
Sorry about that. I didn't realize
No,
I
I
yelled.
do.
I asked Quincy, I
Love
was like,
you.
was I yelling? He was like, yeah. I was like, oh. He was like, I was like, oh, well, I apologize.
It's okay. It's okay. Like I'm like I like, but like to literally have a whole damn meltdown. And the crazy thing is, I had already kind of like been trying to navigate through how I have been feeling like before that, and it was just like overload, like literally right there, like
Yeah.
um in
But you
front of these.
survived it.
But
Oh shit.
I survive it daily because every time I go, like, yo, I can't believe I did that shit. Um, I appreciate the fact that she tried to come up with a game plan. I'm gonna be really 100% honest. I don't know. Like,
Mm.
I don't know if when life be lifing, if I could read this and be unstuck. I don't know. I honestly don't know. And I'm not taking anything from her advice, her as a podcaster, writer, any of those things. That's not what I'm
Mhm.
doing. But just in general, and maybe that is because just personally, um, maybe where I'm at in my journey, because I'm looking at her like, yeah, I've heard this.
Yeah.
I've I've heard this before. And yeah. Yeah, I just have that's just my 100% honest how I feel. And who knows? Tomorrow I might look at this very same article and be like, "Oh yeah, absolutely. Try these."
Yeah.
But
And maybe,
today is just not
do you think this
today.
could be like a stepping stone to okay, let me try these tools to kind of be like, oh, well, this isn't really working. Maybe I need more type thing. Or maybe, yeah, right?
Yes, right. I not yeah. Yeah.
And you guys have to remember, like for listeners, like there's all, whether if you're a believer or not, okay, a lot of these things are practical, but there's tools for you that can really help you, whether if it be therapy, if it's group therapy. There are groups through the church that can help you with overcoming obstacles, all kinds of things. So if you want to go to the church, yes, there's options for you. If you want to not do that, there's options for you too there. Sometimes, like I've done group therapy for like setting boundaries and shit. I've been there too, people. I've done it. I have been there and done it. Am I perfect? Hell no. I still struggle. Okay. Does it look different? Yes, because I will be like, what did I learn? What tools did I learn? Okay, you have to bloop, 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 bloop. Do you feel better? Or do you find a way to do it? Right. But there's tools available to you. And don't forget, like, even if reaching out to your circle, yes. Now you gotta be, it's a little tricky sometimes because like we just talked about some instances where we received bad advice.
Right?
No judging,
Right.
limiting beliefs or
Right. Right.
limiting knowledge, limited knowledge.
Right.
Um, but if whatever you're doing isn't working, it's okay to go to the next steps. And there should be no judgment. And if someone is, they can go fuck themselves, is my best advice. Fuck them. You do what you need to do to become a whole person and whatever
What
that
she
fucking
said.
looks like for you.
Period.
I don't mean it in a shady way. I just mean it in a real way. Like if anyone tries to tell you, "Oh, that ain't right," fuck them. What are you gonna like? If this is
Right.
you have a need and you're addressing the need that's gonna make you feel whole, fuck them. Or
Right.
as religious folk would say, bless your heart. Or bless
Uh-uh. Uh-uh. You
the
gotta put the
southern
little in there. You gotta put the little in there. Bless your little heart. You gotta put the little. Don't leave that
southern
out.
southern faithful folk.
There it is.
I'm a New
Bless your little
Yorker. Fuck that
heart.
shit.
You're like,
I will stay true to who I am. Fuck 'em.
period.
Sorry, God.
I'm not even gonna lie. I've definitely used that bless your little heart. And I've also used the oh how precious.
Yeah.
That one too.
See, I can't even say it right. Oh, bless your heart. That's something you would never hear me say, being shady. I'd be like, you're liable to hear F-bomb or something first before you hear me say that. And
I dropped a whole lot of F-bombs yesterday. I just want to throw that out there. Um,
I try to keep it classy, but sometimes you just can't.
sometimes, no, real talk. Like, I'm not, God help me with this, right? God, I know. Um, I think I'm in that weird space currently. So, it's a little, I'm in a real weird place, right? And it's hard for me to navigate.
Maybe this will make you smile. I called someone a straight fucking jackass recently.
Proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
I was driving though, but I said it with my whole chest, like, you're a straight fucking jackass. Yes, sir. Who cut us off with like a sliver of a space when there was like a whole big ass space, like you could fit you could fit a 18 wheeler behind me, and he just had to get in front of me.
Don't you hate that? Like, it'll be like nobody. Yo, there'll be like nobody behind me. But for whatever reason, they just have to kind of speed and
It's like
squeeze and get in front of you. And I literally like yo, if that's a pet peeve of mine. Especially now if it's like a bunch of traffic behind me and on the side of me, I get it. I really do. Like, I understand, because I probably would navigate the same way. Like, I got to get in here somehow. So even though I don't like that you got me, because that's how I feel a little bit. Oh yeah, you got me. You got me. But when there is no one, like,
be like,
not a car in sight behind me, but you felt the need to do that when you could have really just waited until I went right past you, and then you could have got behind me, and then you could have,
you could fit 10 cars. 10 cars.
Like, I'd be confused by that. So I get it. And they deserve what they got. And I'm proud of you. That's not like you, because you'd be on a whole nother level. And
not always.
I haven't got there. I don't know how to get there.
Not always.
Even when I don't say it out of my mouth, my face gives full exactly what the hell. And
I have a picture. And sometimes if I need a laugh, I will look at that picture. I will find that shit. I'd be like, she said everything with her facial expression.
I have to do better. Like, I do, because I don't know how, some people are like really good at it. And sometimes I am. Like, I've definitely had my moments where I have kept poker face, like, oh yeah, you ain't gonna see this cuss out coming. But however, that is definitely something that I have to work on, and that's one of the things that I think I'm working on. That's part of the reason why I go to therapy, because I really am in that struggle, undefined, weird space that I can't even. And so maybe this was a good topic, so to speak, I guess. Maybe.
I agree, because I can't. Sorry, your boy.
Listen, watch your mouth.
He's testing my good nature, boy. Not good nature. He's testing my
calm reserve. That thing that I admire so much about you. I wish I had. I don't have it. Like, it's instant. Like, I have to really work at it, because I be letting people know. Sometimes I don't even open up my mouth. I just be like,
just with one look. The thing is, I've never mastered the look. but usually it comes out some way. And it'd be like against my brain. Like somehow it just be like bloop, and I'm like, I was thinking that it wasn't supposed to come out
I
yet
wasn't supposed to say it
because I was trying to dial it into a way that was respectful. Sometimes though, it just be like word vomit. Yes, sir. So for some people, this can be a very practical first step. I think is the best way to kind of position this article, and know that it seems like she's been through some stuff, and this is what some of the things that tools that she used to help her get on the other side of it. And just remember, like, if this is something that doesn't necessarily work for you, there are options for you, which we kind of talked about earlier on. So don't struggle in silence or on your own, because you don't have to. So we appreciate you joining us for this episode of Overcoming Obstacles. Mr. Goins, if you can join us at some point in the future, we'd be happy. But thank you for the inspiration for this episode.
Absolutely. Thank you to all of our ousters, our new ousters. Welcome to the team. And our day ones, as always. There it is. And we appreciate each and every single one of you. Oh, we really, really, really honestly do. And we cannot grow without you. So we appreciate all of the support and the listenership, that loyalty. Yo, thank you.
Yes.
Time is something that you can't get back. And the fact that you have taken time out of your life, your daily busy schedules, to be here with
Mhm.
us and listen in, um, we cannot show our gratitude enough. And please, if you're listening, please go ahead and start, interacting with us, because we are here for it. We love it. Let us know what episodes you've been listening to, what episodes are your favorite, where you're listening from, you know? Because we have a listener that is from Ghana. Is it Ghana? Ghana.
I think so.
And he is always, like, interacting and letting us know, where he's from, that kinda thing. Well, not
Mhm.
sharing stuff about where he's from, and we love
Mhm.
stuff like that. We love the interaction, so don't just listen in. Like, let's chat, let's talk. Give us some
Yes.
feedback and some input, because we are definitely here for it. We love each and every one of you. Thank you so very much.
Yes. And don't forget to make sure you're following us on our socials, because that's where we're going live. And, yes, we're on that TikTok plays, but we don't know for how much longer because, September deadline's coming. Blah. Okay, there, I said it. All right.
Right around the corner? Yep,
Right around
that
the corner.
part.
But remember, we're on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and with the regular season, we'll be available on YouTube and, of course, on Spotify, all the places you can listen to our podcast. But connect with us on those socials. Okay, we're here for it.
Oh, that's it. I ain't got nothing else.
All
Wait.
right, we
You
good.
gonna take it out?
Bye,
Okay, okay.
y'all. No, that's
All right.
it. Let us.
Like, that's it. I ain't got nothing.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. Please don't forget to like, follow, and share.